Hi there. This is a reading for the collective. Take what resonates, leave the rest. This reading is going to be about finding the real you. This is an actual reading option that I have on my booking website if you want, if you resonate with this reading but like want more one-on-one in depth for you specifically. I'm going to put the link in the comments. But the reason why I was drawn to this, first let me say, the people who are going to come across this video and that should stick around for this video are people who have been on their healing journey for a while. I'm not going to put a time frame on it, but if you've gone through the trenches, if you've done a lot of shadow work, and you've been feeling like, and maybe you're even seeing butterflies. You've been like, I literally put on a butterfly music in the back, like there was a butterfly on it. I picked that specifically. I was drawn to that, and I actually had a butterfly crystal right here. So you might be seeing a lot of butterflies right now. Transformation is big. So let me tell you a little bit about finding the real you, the actual reading. And I'm going to put in the comments where I kind of start the reading, so that way if you want to skip this, you can. But so the inspiration behind finding the real you is that, everyone that comes onto this earth forgets who they are, forgets why they came here, forgets, like who they came here to be, who they want to be at their core, because of, and I'm not dogging anybody's parents, including my own. It's just, the values that we were brought up on, like what we're as young, when we're younger, we're very perceptive, and we can be kind of swayed into being a specific way because of what we've watched our adults do and other people, like our peers too. So along the way, we just kind of adapt other people's beliefs, values, and who they want us to be, who we think we're supposed to be for these other people, and we kind of lose who we're actually at our core. So that's why I'm really called to do this reading right now, because I feel like we've just barely kind of touched the brink of these versions of ourselves who we are at our core. And I kind of want to get in depth with it, so you can try to find those missing pieces that you're looking for right now. Okay. I also want to say, I was drawn to, I did see, I almost picked a video, like healing music or whatever, that had like a literal pink heart. And I thought of rose quartz. So rose quartz is actually very healing. So I really feel like, and it's love, right? So I really feel like this is a very gentle, moving into this very gentle energy, where you're going to be more at peace. And I've been hearing that myself a lot. Like I really felt that when I was looking at this crystal, and I was looking at my rose quartz owl. So you might want to actually carry this around right now, because a lot of you are clearing out your heart chakra, like, situations from the past specifically that have made your heart heavy for a long time. Okay. So let me look at 3. All right. So let's get into the reading. Thank you so very much for being here. I appreciate you. And, Ace of Cups. I hope you're having a fantastic day. I hope everything's really good for you. And if it's not, you're moving away from things that are not good for you. 6 of Swords, 10 of Wands, carrying too much weight, yeah, there is definitely a sense of, for a while we've kind of been in this like feeling, Wheel of Fortune, beautiful, feeling like kind of stuck, but in reality you weren't really stuck. It was really more like, okay, we got to pause and regroup before we move forward. And I literally felt today like, oh, okay, this is why things haven't moved forward for me. I got to really take care of myself, and make myself a priority before I go forward. A lot of emotion, a lot of water energy coming through this reading, which totally makes sense. Yeah, you're like, I just want clarity. I guess this one went up. Page of Cups, the moon. This is interesting, like, because I'm really drawn to this, like, moth, because it's like the opposite of the butterfly. It feels like that way. So moths represent surrendering, actually. And butterflies represent transformation. And I feel like the transformation in this sense is very, like, moving forward. It's very much fast paced. Like, this transformation is quick. So, like, surrendering is key right now, because it's gonna help you move through this quicker, this ick, because there's a lot of ick right now that you're sitting in, because, finding the real you is not fun work, because that's when you visit your shadows, you visit those places that are really, really dark and hopeless, and, oh gosh, everything's falling down around me, and I can't find any good things around me, even though there's a lot of beauty. And the beauty around you, actually, the big thing that you're missing is you. Like, you are the beauty, right? Okay, I want to point my finger at this because, okay, so we've got Pisces. We've got a lot of water. I said that. A lot of water energy. That's what I'm saying, soft era. And it's weird because when I think of water signs, I feel like water signs do carry a lot, because they're so tapped in to, like, their emotions, but they don't, like, sometimes they have a hard time getting it out. And that's definitely the vibe here. So we've got Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, also double Pisces, and then Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. And then I saw the Wheel of Fortune and the Hanged Man. So Hanged Man's Neptune. I don't know what the Wheel of Fortune is offhand. Just a second. Jupiter. Where's that at? Okay, so I said Jupiter, Sagittarius, and Neptune is Pisces again. Holy crap. Wow. So a lot of you, and listen, I feel like a lot of you watching this probably aren't water signs, but you probably identify with the fact that you're very emotional. You might have been emotionally reactive in the past, but I feel like there's just a lot of depth to you, and like big, big, big heart. You've always had this really beautiful, big heart. And I'm really drawn to the page in this reading, because I feel like you're kind of, like, one thing you're recognizing is that piece. I feel like you haven't, like, part of this moon too, like, not seeing, like, you have never actually seen yourself for who you are. Birds, 100% yes. Because of what other people told you, just because of how you, like, viewed yourself. Like, you literally closed your eyes and said, oh, I don't know who I am, or I don't want to see who I am. Because when you see who you are, like, it's almost too much, okay? The emotion piece of it, the good and the bad, is too much. That's so interesting, because I literally just posted a video, and I never just type out words, but I literally said, if you're crying a lot right now, it's because you have, and I've got chills, you have suppressed your emotions your whole life. Like, so you've got years of suppressed emotions that need to come out. Like, you are a person that, not like, my boyfriend always tells me, like, oh, you're emotional, and guys are not, right? So, but I've really been hearing him when he says that, like, and it's not a bad thing, okay? That's the thing. If anybody has, society in general, especially generations before us, have made us kind of into these robots where we're just supposed to be, like, we're supposed to have this smile on our, well, none of these women are smiling, well, she's younger, but she's not smiling, right? But they're like, okay, you put a smile on your face no matter what is going on around you. Okay. So, that's where the suppressed emotions come from, because you just feel like, oh, I'm just supposed to be happy and I can't feel anything. No, you need to, like, right now, the big message is feeling. Embrace those feelings, whatever they are, and let them out. Okay. So I want to talk about this Queen of Pentacles, actually. So you, no matter what your age is, I feel like a lot of, people who come watch my videos are more in feminine energy. It doesn't mean you're a female, you're just in the feminine energy. But I feel like a lot of individuals who watch my videos are probably around my age. I'm 42 or younger. Not maybe a little bit older than me, maybe 50s, I don't know. But I feel like there's a sense of younger people. Like, I'm meant to help the younger people before, with their trauma, so they can heal before, and live their life well. But anyway, this hair, her gray hair, is giving a sense of you are very wise. Okay. You have had a lot of life in a short amount of time. I got chills. And you, like this, the reason why I'm saying this is you might not be older. And listen, there's nothing wrong with it if you are older watching this video, but I feel like you probably have been told you're an old soul, or you're very mature for your age, or whatever. Like, that's who you are at your core. And you've always been. But I feel like, especially recently, you've gone through a lot of life, and maybe you've gotten a lot of gray hair recently. Like, maybe you feel like, man, I feel so much older because of all this stuff. And not like, oh gosh, I feel older, like I feel achy and, I can't do anything. No, it's just, wow, I've been through it, recognizing, hey, I've been through it. But I understand that, like, that's part of my journey. I understand that I have to go through it so I can be abundant. Another thing I want to say too, so the butterfly that I saw on the TV before I selected this music kind of had this like threading like this. I don't know, that's significant. So maybe some of you are knitters or crafty like that, sewing. But the net too, I feel like there's this protection around you. And if you want to ask for protection right now, maybe that's a thing too. Like putting a gold light around you is significant as well. Wow, I'm getting a lot just without even pulling anything else already. And what's interesting about this deck, there are men in the deck, okay? But every card that came up is feminine, right? So this era right now is all about you. And I'm not saying that you can't have a person, okay? You can't be with somebody. What I'm trying to say is also that you're recognizing that like a healthier way to co-create in love relationships. So you might identify with the fact that you were very just hyper focused on your partner. And now you're and that might be part of your struggle right now when you're finding yourself, is having your own identity. That might be something you struggle with your whole life, where you're just like enmeshed with these other people, like too much, instead of being like, okay, this is who they are, this is who I am, and here's the line, okay? Like, we come together, but we got to draw a line in the middle, because then you get too tangled, and then that's how you forget who you are, right? And you've done that your whole life, and it's not just romantic. It's family, it's friends, and all of it. Bosses, whatever. Okay? I'm going to come over here. I feel like a lot of you that are watching this too are very powerful. And maybe you are, this wants to go here, maybe you are powerful in the sense that, I'm bound. I can't even. You're setting yourself free. Yeah, I love this. This is so beautiful. I'm so proud of you. What was I saying though? Okay, so a lot of you are powerful. And it could be in the sense of like me, where you're, here to help people, the collective, kind of wake up and do their thing, whatever that is. But it could just be that you've always had this like untamed energy, or this tamed energy, the birds are saying yes, that needs to kind of come unbound, right? Like letting the lioness just, here I am, unashamed. This is it. This is really, truly who I am. And it's so bizarre. I can't. I picked this deck specifically too. I had the intention of using this deck, and sometimes that doesn't work out. But answer the call. But I wasn't sure, because sometimes I just pull it out, but I was like, no, I don't care. I'm using this deck because this deck is very, very powerful, and you are powerful. That's what I'm saying. So like, there's a fear, probably, trust the niggle, get grounded. There's probably a fear of embracing like your whole powerful self. And I relate. I understand that. I was looking at that, and that reminded me of, what movie was that? Nothing But Trouble, with Dan Aykroyd and Demi Moore, I think. Or was, no. Yeah, and Chevy Chase. There's like a glob guy. I don't know why. Maybe watch that. Longing for home belonging. The original light worker. Yeah, some of you might resonate with that. And I feel called to say, don't dim to fit in. Girl, bye. Okay? Sisterhood. Love that. Yeah, you're finding your people that get you too. We love that. Okay. On the bottom of the deck, you can't make this shit up. 2 moons. The moon, leap. You go first. The universe will catch you. This is you not knowing where you're headed. Okay, not being able to see where you're headed, but going, okay, well, it's scary, but we're going to do it because we're supposed to. And we know it's going to be beautiful on the other side, because watch what's underneath. Protection. You're protected. Whatever you do, everything you do, your whole life, you've been protected. Everything in the, kind of, here, we're going to move that a little bit. Okay, so, a lot of feminine energy. A lot of it. You've got a lot of protection in, like, from the divine, a lot of feminine protection, a lot of ancestral protection for sure. Mother Gaia is very significant too. I literally just took a walk before I came into this video. You might want to do more of nature stuff. And my friend has been sending me a lot of nature stuff, and she's in nature, right? So I've been listening, and I've been doing it. Flowers, there's a lot of flowers. I feel like the flowers lately for me have been representative of like blooming. Okay. Yeah, I feel like with this group, a lot of you have spent a lot of your life, you've been like handed things to you that you didn't want, right? You said you wanted it, but you really didn't want. I feel like you have also, people have tried to hand you things that would assist you, but you wouldn't take that either, because you didn't trust yourself as far as like who is handing you the thing, like who, like going, okay, I'm just going to take whatever's handed to me. And like, this is kind of a lack thing, but it's also like, again, what I was saying with, okay, this is just what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to take what people are giving me. It's a gift. No, not everybody is handing you a gift, okay? Some people are handing you stuff that actually make you sick, that actually put you in a space where you're like, mentally, I feel like there's a lot of mental health stuff coming through. I relate anxiety for me, but maybe depression even, or like bad thoughts, self-harm, harming others even, maybe because you did something that you didn't want to do. So there's like accountability here. And maybe, well, you should be, if you're watching this reading, you should be in a place where you've already taken accountability for your role, okay? Like just because they handed it to you, you didn't have to take it. So there's accountability for that. I just looked at my cup. I got my butterfly cup. I completely forgot. So, you know, the finding the real you is understanding that you always had the answers when it came to people specifically on who you should trust and who you shouldn't. You just did not listen, and that's okay. But there's a really strong need to forgive yourself for that, for taking things that did poison you, whether mentally, physically, whatever the case, from other people. Some people literally gave you something with the intent to make you ill. And acknowledging that is really hard because, like, you can't fathom that. You would never do that to anybody. You would never do that to anybody. Yeah. Empaths, highly sensitives, connect with nature. So you might want to, when you go in nature, what I've been doing actually lately is talking out loud. You could write too if you want, but you should definitely get outside on some kind of grass and release, like talk about what you release. I released the toxins that other people gave to me. I released and some of it was not necessarily they handed you a thing. Some of it was verbal too. Okay. So whatever it means for you, get outside and release it. And I literally just did that. So I feel like Spirit's like, yes, keep doing that, right? Okay, Queen of Pentacles, Mintekin, longing for home, belonging, the original light workers. So this is very abundant. The Queen of Pentacles is very abundant, but I feel like we need to read. I don't know what this Mintekin thing is. I'm just going to be straight up honest with you. And where's that book at? 1 second for me. It's hiding. There it is. Yeah, you're coming out of hiding for real. Like you're probably somebody who resonates like me, where you just always kind of stayed in the background. And believe me, you are not meant to be in the background. You're meant to be front and center. I literally had a dream about that last night too. I had a dream that I was a singer, a well-known singer. Where's this? Oh, here we go. So this is a transmission card. So 116. You might be seeing 16s. I've been seeing them myself. That's funny. All right. 116. Okay, and I'm feeling like something out there doesn't want me to read this. Like this is like an activation of some kind. Something or somebody doesn't want me to read this, but watch me do it anyway. Longing for home, belonging, the original light workers. Mintakins, I don't even know if I'm saying that right, are a soul group who originated on a planet in the constellation Orion. They were the first star beings to travel to Earth and believed to be the original light workers. The Mintakins' home planet is thought to have been a water world with water so pure that you could see through it for miles. For this reason, Mintakins feel most at peace and at home when in or around crystal clear water. I have been taking so many baths, it's not even funny. So that's another message for you, not just nature, but baths as well. They are here to teach us to see the potential in everything and the light in all beings. Many Mintakins have an odd longing for home and struggle with feeling like they don't belong. It is thought that this is due to their home planet no longer being in existence. If you're pulled to this card, it could mean that you are a Mintakin or are longing for a sense of belonging, and root chakra healing is necessary for you to feel secure and safe. Root chakra is grounding. Girl, bye. Perhaps you feel this longing to find home without knowing where that is. Perhaps you've been moving around a lot and yearn for a place on earth to call your own. If so, you're being called to connect with Mother Earth and create it for yourself now. To choose where you feel most at home and create it rather than waiting for the feeling of belonging to come. Work your light transmission. Hold the card to your heart and say, I allow myself to be truly here and at home on this planet. I release any grief around not belonging or feeling held and call it in the perfect home. Okay, so this isn't even just about like, hey, you might be min-tacking or whatever it is. This is like what I'm trying to say about these people over here who give you a cup and you don't want it type thing. Like, you spent a long time being with people and in places that you did not belong because they did not have the right intentions. So you are finding, you might even be around, like, all the people you're around now are those people that you feel like you belong. They're handing you a cup. You're handing them a cup back. This is like Six of Pentacles energy, reciprocal energy. Okay. So there's a strong sense of, I'm telling you, forgiveness for being in places that you didn't belong with people who didn't treat you right, because you've always been, and I mean, I'm surprised this is the Queen of Pentacles. I think this only came out because I had to give that like hair message and the old and the mesh thing. But really, you're like the High Priestess, the Temperance, and the Empress all rolled into one. You're big energy. Okay. So whenever you feel lost, remember who you are, and remember, oh, maybe you need to look around you and say, like, does everybody around me embody who I am and who I want to be? Or, like, not that they should be you, but do they embrace who I am is really more what I mean. Answer the call. So I feel like for a long time, and I resonate with this, Spirit was trying to hand you, like, you were looking, the Five of Cups is all about like looking around you. You're like, oh, I don't have this thing that I want, right? There's this one cup in front of you or behind you that you can't see. In this card, there's two, but there's one cup behind you that you can't see because you're looking at all these other cups and you're like, oh, I don't have enough, or oh, I really want this one thing that's behind me or whatever. But what Spirit actually is coming in to say is they've been trying to hand you this cup for what you're supposed to do here, who you're supposed to be, like actually being the real you, and you've been not answering the call. So I feel like for a lot of you, you probably are now, and I understand that it's scary, right? But know that they will catch you. This is you've got a big job. And for some of you, you've been doing the job your whole life because you literally are like, and I know you probably don't want to hear this, but you literally are like a mirror and you show people what they need to work on, even if they don't. But it's overwhelming. It's a lot. And I understand. But it's time to take that cup. It's time to take the cup that you're meant to, you've meant to been having this whole time. And some of these cups that are here are probably gone because those cups were really like the cup that I was telling you that you didn't want. Like, you were looking at these cups like, oh gosh, well, Spirit really said, oh gosh, I really want this. I need to keep this. This is like, I'm so focused on these cups, but really they weren't good for you, or you didn't need them. You didn't want them. And that's why you were in this anguish. So it's very important that whatever you feel like, this is more of a flow to whatever you feel like you need to do or that you're called to do, just go with it. Okay. Right now. That's part of how you find more of who you are, and more of like what you want to do. Ace of Swords reverse, unbound. So part of if you have felt like your whole life you lacked clarity, you couldn't get the right answers, you didn't know how to get answers, you're like, this feels like a third eye blocking kind of, it's because you didn't want to see. it. You didn't want to hold that sword. You didn't want the clarity, because that meant that you had to step into this power that you had. You had to there's a fear, there's a strong fear around like how other people perceive you, how the world's going to see you once you really embrace your true self, right? But this card literally says releasing soul patterns, contracts, and past lives. So the more that you kind of let go of the old, the cups again, but like the stuff they're talking about, the patterns, the cycles, all of that, the more clarity you're going to find. And I relate to that because I literally was going through it for a couple weeks there where I was just like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Like I was so lost. And the second you slow down and surrender and let go and say, you know what, it's out of my control. Spirit always has had my back and will always have my back. And I will get the answers when I need, when they're meant to find me. That's when you gain the clarity, right? There's a strong sense of, if you resonate with the fact that you've kind of been a person who tried to like control situations, people, because you're out of fear that, it was going to be taken away from you, or whatever your fear was surrounding that. Like, this is you saying, like, again, these ones look like they're leaping too, right? And there's the moon again. Like, okay, I surrender. I know I'm in the space I'm supposed to be right now. And I know that I'm going to gain clarity because, or once I calm down and just kind of sit and allow the answers to come to me. Don't force it, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. So the real you is more of a person who goes with the flow. Like I was talking about over here, instead of needing the answer now. Like, trusting in the unknown is a big fear. And I mean, that's a fear for everybody. You are not alone there, for sure. Page of Cups. Don't dim to fit in. And Sisterhood of the Rose. Beauty and devotion, priestess, mystic, teacher. You are. Yeah, absolutely. I feel like you are finally embracing the fact that, like, you are this beautiful, emotional being. And I'm not saying that you're like, oh, crying every 5 minutes or whatever, but like, you're really tapped into your emotions, other people's emotions. And I feel like you're not shying away from that as much anymore. I feel like you used to. And unapologetic about it. Like, hey, I know how you feel, or like, hey, this is how I feel, and giving people room to express how they feel. Like, I feel like that's one of the things that you're really meant to do, is teach other people how to express themselves better. Like, that's something that you're meant to learn, and that's what you're learning right now. And it's really going to like set you up with the right kind of like soul tribe. You probably have already found a lot of your people, but you're going to find more of that. And there's like, look at these pyramids are significant. And then it's like connectivity. That's giving a connectivity thing. But look at, she's covering her eyes. It's like, hey, I trust that I know, like, I don't even need to see. And then I trust that things are going to work out. I don't have to keep watching and waiting, right? But yeah, big message around like you self-expression, like you having a fear of expressing yourself and how people are going to perceive it. So that's something that you're either working on now or you're going to be working on. And that's going to get you closer to tapping into the real you and connecting yourself with the right places, the right people, and all that. Look at all the flowers again, and water. There's so much water around. Water and nature, very significant. Wow, that was a really, really beautiful reading. I love this energy. I feel like, and listen, I know like things, they're not as heavy as they were for me, but they still are. Like, I'm still going through it myself. It's very hard to do this work. It's just it's a lot. It's very challenging, but the reward, and I'm not just talking about like the material reward is going to be amazing, but the reward you're going to feel, because you're going to find this like sense of peace and home and belonging and comfort is going to be the real reward for you. And I know that's what you're really wanting to. So you're doing a great job. Thank you so much again for being here. Any likes, shares, subscribers to my channel, comments on my videos are super duper helpful. If you would like to donate to my channel, I will put my Cash App, Venmo, PayPal in the comments. It is not expected, but appreciated. And again, I will put my booking site information in the comments as well. If you feel called to dive deeper for yourself specifically on this reading, we can do that, or any kind of reading that you need, or any kind of guidance you need right now. I'm really proud of you.